You left a profound and lasting mark on your person, one that has continued to echo through their heart and spirit long after your separation. When they rejected your love, it wasn't out of indifference or lack of emotion, it was because they didn't know how to handle the depth of what they felt for you. That moment of rejection caused a deep wound within them, closing off their heart chakra and leaving them in a place of emotional confusion. They thought distancing themselves would bring peace or clarity, but instead, it only amplified their longing for you. Your energy has always had a powerful effect on them, so powerful, in fact, that it made them nervous. They were simultaneously drawn to and overwhelmed by your presence. From the very beginning, your person has carried strong feelings for you, though they often struggled to make sense of them. They weren't accustomed to emotions that intense, to love that pure and consuming. Every time you came around, their heart would race, their thoughts would blur, and their emotions would surge like a wave they couldn't control. Rather than face that vulnerability, they chose to hold themselves back, afraid of getting lost in what they felt. It wasn't that they didn't care, it was that they cared too much. In their attempt to protect themselves from being hurt, they ended up hurting both you and themselves. Yet beneath that restraint, they always wanted the same thing you did, a deep, soulful connection built on mutual love and understanding. Time and distance have changed them. The person who once ran from their emotions is now beginning to face them with courage and honesty. They have done a lot of soul-searching, realizing that no matter how far they go, your energy continues to follow them. You've become a constant presence in their heart, a reminder of what true connection feels like. Now, your person is returning, but they are not the same as before. They have grown, matured, and awakened to truths they once ignored. Their heart is slowly opening again, guided by intuition and divine timing. Your energy is captivating, magnetic in a way that transcends physical attraction. They see you not only as beautiful and irresistible but also as someone deeply spiritual and grounded. There's something about your light, your presence, that draws them in effortlessly. You embody grace, wisdom, and emotional depth, qualities that inspire them to be better. Their intuition has become stronger through this connection, leading them toward healing and transformation. They are learning to trust themselves, to release old fears, and to surrender to the flow of love instead of resisting it. Through this journey, your person has begun breaking free from old generational patterns, cycles of emotional avoidance, fear of intimacy, and self-sabotage that have been passed down unconsciously. They are learning to communicate, to express their emotions, and to love without fear. You have played a pivotal role in this awakening. Because of you, they've become more self-aware, more emotionally intelligent, and more compassionate. They now see that love isn't about control or perfection, it's about growth, vulnerability, and acceptance. You have helped them evolve into a more sensible, emotionally mature individual, capable of giving and receiving love in a balanced way. The changes in your person are not just internal, they are radiating outward. The people around them are beginning to notice the difference. They are calmer, more centered, and more open-hearted. And at the core of that transformation is you. Even from afar, your energy has guided them through some of their darkest moments. You've become a silent muse, a source of inspiration that keeps them striving for something greater. They now recognize that the love they once feared losing is the very thing that brings them healing and purpose. Your strength and resilience are qualities that your person deeply admires. You've faced challenges with grace, turning pain into wisdom and heartbreak into growth. The way you carry yourself, with confidence, integrity, and compassion, has not gone unnoticed. To them, you embody divine feminine energy in its purest form, nurturing yet powerful, soft yet unyielding, loving yet discerning. Others around you see it too, your energy commands respect and attention. There's something both inspiring and intimidating about how effortlessly you stand in your truth. Your person feels honored to have known you and even more blessed to have loved you. They see now that your connection was never ordinary, it was divinely orchestrated, a bond meant to awaken both of you to higher versions of yourselves. They are beginning to understand that everything that happened, the separation, the confusion, the longing, was all part of a greater plan to help you both heal and evolve. This realization has given them newfound clarity. They no longer wish to run from what they feel, instead, they want to embrace it fully, no matter how vulnerable it makes them. Now, as they prepare to come back into your life, their energy feels different, stronger, more grounded, and aligned with love. They are ready to communicate, to be honest about their feelings, and to take accountability for the past. They want to build something lasting with you, something that honors both your growth and theirs. They know it won't be easy, but they're willing to put in the effort because you're worth it. In their eyes, you are the embodiment of love itself, an anchor in chaos, a beacon of light in darkness. You have shown them what true connection means, not through words but through energy, patience, and authenticity. Your person sees you now with new eyes, not just as someone they desire, but as someone who inspires them to rise into their highest self. They know that with you, love is not just an emotion, it's a journey, a transformation, a divine dance between two souls destined to meet, separate, and come together again when the time is right. I realized that something was not quite right about the way I was living when I saw you. It wasn't an instant revelation but more of a quiet awakening that stirred something deep within me. For the longest time, I had been moving through life in a haze of self-absorption, convinced that I was doing everything right. I was so focused on myself, on my thoughts, my feelings, my achievements, my pain, that I stopped noticing how I was treating others. I had become the kind of person who spoke too much but listened too little. My world revolved around me, and I mistook that self-centeredness for confidence. In reality, I had built a fortress of arrogance around my insecurities, protecting myself from any criticism or emotional discomfort. When I met you, something changed. You didn't have to say much, your presence alone was enough to make me aware of how far I had drifted from being genuine. There was something different about you, something that stood in quiet contrast to my loud existence. You carried yourself with an effortless calm, an energy that didn't demand attention but still drew everyone in. You didn't talk about yourself much, yet your silence spoke volumes. I could sense strength in you, not the kind that dominates others, but the kind that comes from self-awareness and peace. It was the first time in a long time that I met someone who made me pause and truly reflect on who I had become. Before that, I thought confidence meant being unapologetically myself, never bending, never yielding, never showing vulnerability. I thought that was power. But what I failed to understand was that I wasn't being strong, I was being defensive. My ego had grown so strong that it became the lens through which I saw everything and everyone. Anyone who challenged me, anyone who made me feel even slightly uncomfortable, I labeled as toxic or unworthy and pushed them away. I had a pattern: if someone made me confront my flaws, I would show them the exit gate without hesitation. It was easier to remove people than to remove my own pride. And then there was you. You didn't confront me directly or criticize me openly, but somehow you held up a mirror without even meaning to. I saw myself reflected through your quiet honesty and your ability to exist without ego. For the first time, I felt small, but not in a bad way. I felt humbled. It was disarming. You didn't hurt me, but you did hurt my ego, and that was exactly what I needed. My defenses began to crack, and through those cracks, a little light began to enter. The truth is, I wasn't always this way. Life, and the people in it, shaped me into the person I had become. In the past, many people had shown me the exit gate. Some of them walked away because I made them feel unseen or unheard. Others left because they couldn't handle the walls I built around myself. Each time someone left, it felt like a personal betrayal. It hurt deeply, though I pretended it didn't. I convinced myself that I didn't need anyone, that I was better off alone. Over time, I grew more heartless, not because I wanted to be cruel, but because I was tired of being hurt. Every wound I received made me retreat further into myself, until my soul felt numb. People hurt my soul, and I blamed them for it. What I didn't realize was that I had stopped allowing anyone close enough to heal it. I had mistaken emotional detachment for strength. But you, without even trying, started to heal me in ways I didn't expect. You didn't pamper my ego or feed into my need for validation. Instead, you made me feel seen for who I was beneath all the layers. You didn't fight my arrogance, you made it irrelevant. There was something about your authenticity that made pretense impossible. You helped my soul and hurt my ego, and I am forever grateful for that. I think that's the most profound kind of connection, when someone challenges you not through confrontation but through presence. You reminded me that growth doesn't come from praise, it comes from discomfort. I began to see that humility is not weakness but the foundation of true strength. You made me realize that I didn't need to dominate conversations or prove my worth through arrogance. I just needed to be present, to listen, to understand, and to connect. I started to notice the little things I had ignored for years, the emotions of people around me, the subtle ways they tried to reach out, the pain behind their laughter. For so long, I had been so focused on being enough that I forgot how to simply be human. You helped me return to that humanity. Now, when I look back, I see how lost I was in the illusion of self-importance. I see how pride disguised itself as independence and how ego wore the mask of confidence. I see how much I was running from the very things that could have made me whole: vulnerability, compassion, and humility. Meeting you didn't just change how I saw myself, it changed how I saw the world. I realized that everyone is fighting silent battles, and arrogance only isolates us further from understanding each other. You taught me that real connection doesn't come from being impressive, it comes from being real. So, yes, you helped my soul and hurt my ego. You didn't fix me, but you showed me that I needed to start fixing myself. And that, I think, is the greatest gift anyone can give another person, the inspiration to change not out of guilt, but out of a genuine desire to be better. Your partner is currently experiencing a deep emotional dependence on you, a kind of codependency that stems from their intense attachment and longing for your presence. They crave to be around you, to feel your energy, and to experience the comfort that only your presence seems to bring them. It's as if they are emotionally tethered to you, constantly yearning for reassurance, connection, and closeness. In their eyes, you have become someone profoundly significant, almost essential to their emotional stability. Yet, at the same time, they perceive you as somewhat distant or detached, which leaves them feeling unsettled and uncertain about where they truly stand with you. This emotional imbalance between their longing and your perceived distance fuels their desire to reconnect and rebuild what feels lost or weakened. They want to see you in person, not just to talk, but to feel that real and tangible connection again. The thought of seeing you face to face fills them with hope and nervous excitement. They are desperate for a new beginning, a clean slate that allows both of you to move forward without the shadows of the past interfering. Your partner doesn't want to simply go back to what things were, they want to create something more stable, more honest, and more fulfilling. To them, this relationship represents something worth fighting for, something that could become truly transformative if both of you are willing to nurture it with care and authenticity. Their intentions are serious. This is not a fleeting attraction or momentary infatuation. They are committed to you in ways that they perhaps have never expressed fully. In their heart, they see a future with you, and they are willing to make real changes to align with that vision. They are no longer content with being just friends or maintaining a superficial bond. Friendship, while valuable, doesn't come close to what they feel for you. Their emotions run deeper than companionship. They desire intimacy, partnership, and shared vulnerability. They want to build a meaningful romantic connection, one where both of you can communicate openly, trust each other, and grow together. One of their strongest desires right now is to talk, to have an open and honest conversation about their feelings for you. They've likely been holding back, perhaps out of fear of rejection, misunderstanding, or emotional overwhelm. There is so much they want to express, how much they've missed you, how they've reflected on their actions, and how they wish to prove their commitment through consistent behavior rather than empty promises. They want to bridge the emotional distance between you and create a foundation of transparency and mutual respect. However, even with this deep desire for reconnection, you might be having trouble sensing their energy or understanding what they truly want. This disconnect could be happening because your partner is still in a healing process. They may be recovering from a karmic or toxic situation, possibly from past relationships, childhood wounds, or their own patterns of control and insecurity. These emotional scars have shaped how they relate to love and intimacy. At times, their behavior might seem confusing or contradictory. They want closeness, but they also fear vulnerability. They reach out for love, yet they pull back when they sense they might lose control. Your partner is beginning to recognize these self-defeating patterns. Deep down, they know that before they can truly be with you in a healthy and balanced way, they must release the toxic and controlling tendencies that have held them back. They understand that love cannot thrive in fear, manipulation, or emotional dependency. They're coming to realize that the only way to earn your trust and acceptance is by showing genuine growth and emotional maturity. This awareness is painful, but it's also pushing them toward transformation. They are learning that real love requires honesty, vulnerability, and respect for the other person's boundaries. In their heart, they know you won't settle for anything less than sincerity. You've shown strength and self-respect, qualities they both admire and fear. They know that you won't tolerate inconsistency or emotional games. The only way forward, in your eyes, is through truth and clarity. This realization has been humbling for them. It has forced them to confront parts of themselves they might have avoided before, their fears of abandonment, their need for control, and their tendency to seek validation through attachment. Now, they are at a crossroads. On one side lies the comfort of their old habits, patterns of codependence, insecurity, and control. On the other side is growth, the opportunity to build a real relationship with you, one rooted in mutual respect and emotional balance. To choose growth means facing discomfort, letting go of control, and trusting that love can exist without manipulation or fear. It means approaching you not from a place of desperation, but from a place of clarity and emotional readiness. Your partner knows that when they come toward you again, it has to be different this time. They can't approach you with uncertainty or half-hearted promises. They understand that you will only accept them if they are sure of what they want, and if they show it through consistent action. They are preparing themselves for that moment, shedding old behaviors and working toward emotional stability. They want to meet you as an equal, not as someone who needs saving or constant reassurance. Ultimately, what your partner wants is not just reconciliation, but genuine transformation, both within themselves and within the relationship. They are learning that true love is not about control or dependency, but about freedom, trust, and the courage to grow together. They see you as someone worth becoming better for, someone who inspires them to evolve beyond their past patterns. Their journey toward you is not only about rekindling love but also about healing and self-discovery. And as they continue to release their toxicity and embrace clarity, they hope that one day soon, you will see the change in them, and allow the relationship to blossom into something stronger, deeper, and more meaningful than ever before.